Okay, how you doing, guys? This is NEcology, and I'm in a parking lot at my office space. I'm gonna try and avoid doxing myself, but I'm gonna show you something kind of neat here. We got an interesting tree that I happen to enjoy immensely. This is commonly mistaken for an invasive species or some sort of weed, but rest assured, as you can tell from that hardy looking bumblebee up there, this is in fact an important member of the ecology of the Northeast, most of the East, or Eastern United States. What we get here is Rhus typhina. We got a sumac, Rhus typhina. You can see he's got the hair on the leaves there. These are the flowers right here, just starting to open up for the season. Get in there real good. And this is a member of the family Anacardiaceae, same family as cashews, same family as poison ivy, same family as poison sumac, although in a different genus than poison sumac. Poison sumac is in Toxicodendron with poison ivy and poison oak. This is, like I already said, in the genus Rhus. Got the pinnate leaves, you know. Looks like an invasive species called Tree of Heaven, but you can always differentiate it by the fact that Tree of Heaven has, some decently long petioles on the leaves there, whereas these tend to just sit right up against the rachis there. And these, of course, have dentate margins to the leaves. Tree of Heaven has smooth margins to the leaves, and then at the base of the leaf, there's usually a little knob or flare on Tree of Heaven that is absent from species of Rhus. Now, these do get really, really weedy, as you can see, but rest assured, they are still, in their own way, a beautiful and important part of the ecology of the area, often coming up just in spots like this, usually actually growing over actual invasive species, which this rose is. This is, I believe, Rosa multiflora, commonly called China rose or Asian rose, whatever. But this grows absolutely everywhere in thickets, and this is actually an invasive species. We saw this when I did that video down at the cranberry bog a couple weeks ago. And you really can do botany everywhere. We got a Parthenocissus quinquefolia, another plant that's, believe it or not, commonly mistaken for poison ivy, even though it looks nothing like poison ivy. This is actually in the family Vitaceae, so the grape family. And this is another really aggressive ditch-dwelling native, like the sumac there. And this has beautiful red berries on it in the fall, red leaves. It does have berries on it too that birds love. They come and they eat them. Not invasive, although very, very aggressive plant where it does grow. As you can see, the leaves get quite massive there. This one's trailing here, and it'll climb up trees and do its thing. What else we got in this ditch? There's a young sumac right here, and I'm surprised I'm not seeing a. Oh, there's the poison ivy. I'm surprised I'm not actually seeing, any specimens of Tree of Heaven here. Ailanthus, I think that's how that's pronounced. Get some sort of young pea coming up here. No clue what that is. Over here we got a species of Solanum. We got Solanum ducamura coming up over the poison ivy. Poison ivy covered in galls too. Look at that. That's neat. Beautiful purple tomato looking flowers on there. Again, this is in the genus Solanum, same exact genus as tomato and eggplant. However, this is poisonous. This is also invasive. Comes up in my yard, in fact. Got some sort of young maple there. Oh, here's that pea again. This guy's kind of big. I'll have to come back and check out what this guy is. More sumacs in flower. Here's that pea again. There's Parthenocissus quinquefolia. And over here we get an impressive showy guy who is also invasive, although I don't believe it's technically that invasive. This is a species of Echium. They call this a viper's bugloss, and I mean, he's a stunner. But this is another one native to most of continental Europe and Eurasia. He's got beautiful. Can I get in there? I'll get in there for you. Hang on, I'll show you a nice picture. The flowers are beautiful. There we go. Yeah, look at that. I think you got 5 petals, 4 stamens, and then the stigma right there in the middle. Does it have 4 stamens? Yeah. 4 stamens, and the pistil right in the center. Again, a borage. So a family a lot of people really, really like. A cool family. But this one is unfortunately not native here. As you can see, it's growing all the way up and down this little talus slope. And then behind me, if you go further down the parking lot, it's also growing. Surprised there's no milkweeds coming up here, but whatever. You got a Euphorbia here, and I think this one's actually a native. Euphorbia is the same family as spotted spurge you probably get on your lawn and in your garden pots. In fact, I might be able to show you. It might be down below me right now. We'll take a look and we'll see if we can see any down along the grass here. But you got a species of Euphorbia. This is a spurge. I forget the species. I don't even think this is invasive. I think this is actually a native. But these flower-looking things, if I can zoom in, are not actually flowers. These are actually compound flowers. They call this a cyanthia, I think is what it's, cyanthium, sorry, for the singular, cyanthia, plural. And this is the same family that your African milk tree cactus, which isn't a cactus, is in. This is the same family as poinsettias, the same family as a lot of really toxic plants too. Real interesting, a lot of common house plants come from it. Tons of speciation in this, and again, growing in the ditch where you see a lot of interesting plants, frankly. And then let's see, can we find another member of Euphorbiaceae, or actually just in the genus Euphorbia. It's a huge genus of plants. No clue what that guy is, but he looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not seeing, I mean, that might be a species of Euphorbia, but it's not the one I was looking for. What I was looking for is Euphorbia maculata. I think that is Euphorbia, but not the species I was thinking of. Euphorbia maculata, you get in a lot of places. People think it's invasive or a weed, but it's not. It's just what you would call a weedy native. And just doing this video really, really quick. Probably not even going to edit this together, but just show you that even in the ditch, even in the little ditches, and even when you're dealing predominantly with invasive species, you can still have an interesting little biome. This is, in fact, an environment, and as you can see by the fact that we've got wasps and bees and bugs flying around us, plants growing, in association with one another, it's its own little ecosystem in a way. You would hope that you wouldn't be looking at predominantly invasive species, but even when you are, you get a mix of, aggressive natives like that sumac, like that Parthenocissus, the Virginia creeper is the common name on it, and the poison ivy even is native too, giving some competition to the invasive species. That Solanum has to fight with the poison ivy to occupy the same space. They're just growing over each other. The sumac can grow over this invasive rose bush and shade it out. There is balance oftentimes that you would be surprised to find in habitats like this, because this is still, albeit a disturbed one, this is still a habitat. And you'll hear me rally on against, you get something down here. I wonder what this guy is. You'll hear me go on, some type of mustard. It's got the silicles. No clue what it is. You'll get ambrosia in areas like this, which is ragweed, which gives a lot of people the really bad allergies. You'll get milkweed come up in habitats like this. And then off in the distance there is a pond full of Nymphea odorata, the native water lily we get up here in the Northeast. I think it's just called the white water lily. But anyway, you get the birds, you get the white pines coming up, oaks, everything in moderation. Just because you get invasive species sometimes doesn't mean it's the end of the world, and it certainly doesn't mean that they are not interesting ecologically. They're growing here because they do have, strong competitive characteristics to survive. They grow here because they are somehow interacting with the environment. Yeah, it'd be a lot nicer without them, but you want to know what? While they're here, you might as well look at them, study them, because otherwise you're never going to be able to remove them unless you understand something from the ecology. And anyway, that's all I really wanted to get across in this video. I kept it under 10 minutes for once. So we'll see you next time. I'm going up next week into the White Mountains, where we will see a whole bunch of real interesting, really rare, and truly basically endemic species. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you are as well. Have a good one. Okay, because number one, I'm really bad at ending my videos on time, and number two, this is a really cool plant that I've wanted to check out up close. We're going to continue this video briefly. What we have here is a member of the family Bignoniaceae. This is a species of Catalpa, and this is Catalpa speciosa. This is the northern Catalpa, as evidenced by those big showy flowers there. Let you get up inside there. Just a, heavily modified flower structure, potentially to manipulate the behavior of pollinators. There are the sexy bits up there. Two-lobed calyces right there. Bean pods hanging off the thing when it goes to fruit. Heart-shaped leaves. Southern Catalpa, which is, I believe, Catalpa ovata, has foul-smelling foliage. These leaves don't smell like anything. And smaller flowers. You also get a Chinese Catalpa, which has a different shaped leaf, more angular. Behind me is the tree I was talking about, Ailanthus. This is that tree of heaven, as you can see. So no teeth along the margin there. That's that lobe at the base I was talking about. There's that petiole. And the thing does, of course, when you crush the foliage, smell pretty bad. It smells kind of like pee. Also down here we got that, got some of that Euphorbia down there. There's that ambrosia I was talking about. That's actually a member of the sunflower family. Ragweed, not invasive. Catalpa, not invasive, although commonly both of these get accused of being so. They are not. What is invasive, actually, this is a different species of Euphorbia. This, I think, is Cypress Spurge. This is invasive, but as you can see, it's got those similar, trademark Euphorbia flowers that are not flowers at all. They're cyanthia, technically compound flowers, male and female flowers individually on there, forming a compound flower. And across the pond, we've got Nufar, virgata growing out there. Some common ditch plants to the northeast, but I mean, this thing grows like a weed, a very weedy native, but it is, beautiful. All right, that's it.